bitch! It looks like that fool, best guy ever, has left this week's WIAGW unguarded for the taking. And now that I've achieved God tier status as the waste of rage, no one can stop me! Time for WIAGW.
I don't know much about computers other than the one we got in my house. My mom put a couple games on there and I played.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Why I'm a Genius Weekly. Shout out to my lad for the WIAGW noise for this week. Send yours, hashtag WIAGW noise on Twitter to get it used. So anyway, speaking of gratuitous violence, what'd you guys think about Doom?
For mature.
And yeah, I know what you're thinking. Wasn't that Doom 2016, the game that came out in 2016? Hasn't that been out a while? Well, the Switch version just came out November 10th, aka the only version that matters. Let's consider this review a review of the Switch port, okay? Alright, because you know, this game was an impulse buy for me. It's true, I just happened to be dicking around and one of my friends said, oh hey, did you know that Doom 2016 came out for Switch today? And I was like, well that's a game I've literally wanted to play for like 2 full years now. Maybe I'll pick it up. Because I don't know man, for whatever reason, like logging into my Steam account and trusting my computer to play games is something I just can't do. Because like the thing's getting kind of old and rather than go through all the fucking headache of like fixing my computer, instead I bought a Switch to do this work for me. So here we are. Yeah! I'm doing it, Dad! I'm living! So hey man, go sue me, but I just want to talk about how much fucking fun this game was. You know, growing up I played very few FPS games. Some of the fond memories I have of going over to my friend's house to play Halo on their Xbox, because as like a SNES to PS1, PS2, Final Fantasy worshipping little kid, I just like never broke into like the first-person shooter genre. And now that I'm older, there's like this huge section of games that like so many people, at least in the West, are totally into that I'm just like totally out of the loop on. But seeing Doom come up on like the Switch's new releases menu, I was just like, you know what? It's finally time. So check it out. Back on Windows 95 or whatever, I actually had played some of, not the original Doom, but I think Wolfenstein 3D, the one that preceded Doom, and I always thought that was a lot of fun, you know? I always wanted to play more, except my fucking dad would shut me down, that bitch. Also checks in space or whatever. That shit was my jam. But earlier last year, I got a little bit into original Doom and Brutal Doom, the like full 360 degree aiming mod of Doom that exists. God damn, there's so many fucking mods of Doom, it's insane. But anyway, fuck all that. Let's talk about new Doom. You guys already know the deal. The story is like intentionally ignored like by the main character. There's a thing I love about games when you have silent protagonists who are heavily characterized by the way they act in games. So like Doom Guy or Doomslayer or whatever, in this new Doom game, like he is actually significantly characterized to specifically not give a shit about like what anyone's telling him or any of the rules or any of the lore or any of that bullshit. To a certain extent, you as the player have control over that, but like canonically lore-wise, this guy doesn't give a fuck. So this is actually kind of like a detraction against what a lot of people have said when the game first came out, that you have so much freedom to either get invested in the story or not. I mean, you do have that as the player, but the character of Doom Guy does not really change depending upon what you, the player, do. He's always a murder-hungry maniac. But anyway, nobody gives a fuck about that. The gameplay, man. The gameplay. It's the little things, dude. It's the little things, like how you don't regen HP in this game. The only way you're getting back your fucking HP is if you wear down enemies' health, you get them low enough to be flashing, and then you execute like a murder spree move, or whatever the fuck they're called, on them, which makes them drop health. God damn, that is some brilliant fucking game design. And you know, like, how fucking hard was that? To, like, plan how to make your game and engineer ways to reward people playing the game the way that is the most enjoyable to play, as opposed to like, I don't know, your Gears of War where you crouch behind a wall and wait for your HP to recover. I never got into that game very much. This game is a real rip and tear all the time. Real rip and tear indeed. I loved all the weapons. The plasma rifle was definitely my favorite to use. God damn, I fucking love pummeling people with that. The BFG was sick, you know, the rocket launcher was the staple of like high damage output. Of course, the shotgun was my standby, of course. And the mods you get, oh man, this is the thing. When I first started playing this game, I was a little bit worried that I was gonna get bored, because like, okay, you got a couple of guns, and it's like, okay, I've got this gun now, guess I'll shoot at enemies, this is kind of fun. But it lacks that Skinner box effect. Until the weapon upgrades come at you, and of course like the armor upgrades and the other challenges. By giving you these upgrades that you can level up by achieving certain skill-based challenges in every level, gives you a real feeling of progression as you go through the game, in addition to the just like basic like HP up orbs that you find here and there. That's the thing, man. That's what makes a game like this compel me to keep playing through it. That like Skinner box feeling of progression and growth as I go through it. That's what makes a game like this so much more enjoyable than something like, say, Halo. And I know a lot of people love Halo, but it just doesn't have that feeling of like personal progression of your character that I just fucking worship. And of course, I love the dick sucking that goes on throughout this entire game, where everyone is talking about how fucking terrified they are of you all the time, and how you are the calamity, you are bringing the real hell to their gates of hell. It's fucking sick. And canonically, you're just a super pissed off Marine. God damn, I love that. But anyway, you guys all know this shit already. Let's talk real quick about the control scheme on the Switch, because it was kind of terrible. They've got some auto assist going on here. You know, there's an option to make it so that your shots will kind of home in when you're in the general area, because you're using this fucking stick to try to aim. You can't fucking hit anything in this game. You just can't do it. Using something like the rocket launcher, which is like a precision, like, okay, aim, fire one shot, and then wait to recharge. You gotta have a lot of patience for it. What it's much better for is things that you can kind of be in the general aiming area of. So like the plasma rifle, for example, shoots like 1,000,000 shots per second. So you aim it in the general area, and you can kind of, you know, use this thing to sort of reconfigure yourself until you're generally pointing at the enemy, and you hit it with like 80% of the shots or something. Or alternatively, even better, you just use like explosive attacks. Like the one of the modifications to the shotgun gives you an explosive round. That thing was like my main fucking shot in this whole game. There was some slowdown. There was definitely some slowdown happening on this thing. It's not the most powerful machine in the world. So see guys, I don't suck the Switch's dick all the time. I recognize the shortcomings. I bet you guys don't get cozy with your fucking computer in bed playing it though, do you, huh? I have a problem. And after being the campaign, which I've done now, I'm going back and I am doing the challenges because I want to get the extra stuff that I missed my first time through. God, this game just keeps pulling you back. It's really, really that good. But you guys probably know this already, don't you? You know, you've heard all the stuff about how fun the game is, how rewarding it is, how it keeps you coming back, how it engages you in the combat and incentivizes you to keep fucking staying in battle as opposed to running away like a coward. But here's a point that hasn't been touched on as much as I would like. The game ends on a huge fucking cliffhanger and the story is not resolved, and that pisses me off. I tweeted about this the other day and a couple people expressed their agreement. I'm actually one of the people who did go back and read through the whole lore of the game once I had beaten most of it and I started to get interested in these characters. See, that's the great thing about a game like this. Giving you that freedom to go and get invested at your own pace is really nice. Now, of course, I would argue that the ideal type of game design is one that interweaves story and fun game mechanics at the very same time. But hey, I find this a pretty happy compromise regardless. So when I made the choice to go back and read the lore logs, I found out all kinds of things about Argent Energy, which, in case you weren't paying attention, is like the whole point of the story here. Which, by the way, is a really good story. It's just so amazing to me that, like, the story of Doom is actually really good, but the gameplay is just, like, so much more good that people don't even notice it, you know? It's honestly not really a problem. It's just, like, a shame that so much goodness is condensed into this one game, and so, like, some of the good aspects get overlooked for others, which, you know, is just a little bit of a shame. So Argent Energy, in case you weren't paying any attention while you were playing the game, is the energy of hell. They have weaponized the thickness of hell. It's time. The whole deal of the story of Doom is that humanity has managed to make incredible progress by harnessing the energy of hell, which in this case is just kind of like another dimension. Now, of course, this is a pretty dangerous process because Doom is a real other dimension full of real demons in the world of Doom. By the way, I have no idea if any of this is like in the original plot of Doom whatsoever, so if it is, you know, just fuck me. And of course, as we find out by playing the game, we find out that Argent Energy has gone absolutely bananas and is in fact why you, the Doom guy, were awoken. You're the only bad motherfucker enough to stop this this shit. You gotta kill all the demons, you gotta plug the hole that's leading into hell from our dimension so that we can undo some of the damage that's been done. The guy who recruited you is Dr. Samuel Hayden, or rather, he's Dr. Samuel Hayden III. He's a big old cyborg boy over here, and is in fact the third of his kind. First, he was a mere mortal man made of flesh and blood, then he became an android, then he became an android yet again, progressively losing his humanity with each transformation. And let's just say, this guy's got some hashtag weird utilitarianism leanings that I can sympathize with. Because to get right down to it, once you've slain all the demons and everything's pretty much okay at the end, the whole ideological battle going on in this game comes to the front. And at the end, after you've beaten the final boss and plugged the hole, Sammy Boy is just like, listen, Doom Guy, thanks for killing all those demons for us, but your services are no longer required. We are still going to use ardent energy because we've gone too far with it and we cannot go fucking backwards. Which is pretty much setting this whole thing up to happen yet again. And so, of course, Doom Guy gets kicked to the curb somewhere far, far away, setting up perfectly for a sequel where you fight Sammy and have a final showdown. Now, of course, I find this annoying because, intellectually speaking, all I want right now is a resolution of the ideals of Doom Guy versus that of Dr. Hayden to clash and resolve. Now, you might find that laughable, the ideals of Doom Guy, but I mean, he has a clear motivation here. He is the embodiment of the animalistic rage and desperate struggle to survive of humanity. Dr. Sammy Hayden over here is a logical entity stripped of his humanity. Literally. And here's where you might raise an eyebrow at me. Are we absolutely sure the objectively best thing to do here is say, you know what? Humanity's just gonna plug this hole and go on without ardent energy forever. Ardent energy has allowed so much to happen for humanity. If I remember correctly, at this point they have colonized multiple planets, at least Mars, where this thing is, and currently, all of humanity is kind of being run by this machine called Vega. In the context of the game, Vega is this like robotic voice that tells you what to do sometimes, and then at a certain point in the game you need to dismantle it to get access to like its power source that you use to fuel a jump to hell so you can go kill the final boss. But what they really don't go into detail anywhere outside of the logs of the game is that Vega is like running all of humanity right now. It is a massive ooper duper super trooper mega computer. Vega is so integral to the workings of humanity that it has inspired its own field of study, Vega core physics. This is canon. But Doom Guy's desire to say, look guys, we're not fucking around with these demons anymore, we're done with this shit, that is going to set humanity back a very, very long way.
And by the way, update, strictly speaking, it's not that Vega runs like literally all of humanity's shit, but it's that humanity is so dependent upon the Argent energy that is produced by these UAC facility on Mars. Ostensibly, you shut down Vega, you shut down production of Argent energy, and humanity itself gets sent back to the fucking Stone Age. So that's what I really mean. It's not like it literally micromanages everything. Okay, clarified? Good.
Now don't get me wrong, the UAC that's funding this whole operation, that's making all this happen, has definitely stepped over the bounds of reason and committed quite a few atrocities. And not even just to humanity, but to the demons on the other side of the gate in hell. Like, is it really right to be going in and like stealing their resources and be wiping them out? Are they actually evil, or are they just defending themselves? I don't know the answer to that question, but I would sure like to investigate that further before just deciding no more Argent energy. Get fucked, everybody. I mean, really, seriously, at this very moment, how many human beings in the Doom universe are depending upon Argent energy to survive? I don't know, man. I know at least a couple people agree with me that there is some interest in this fucking storyline, and I really wish there had been some resolution to it at the end of this game, instead of fucking Sammy Boy here just cucking us off and saying, oh, we'll see you in the sequel, my dude. He's a cool character, Doom Guy is a legitimately cool character too, and I want to see these guys have a big clash. Physically, yes, that would be fun. But more importantly, intellectually. I know I sound crazy talking about Doom this way, but come on, throw me a bone. Anyway, all that bullshit aside, this was a fantastic game, including the fact that it was a Switch port. That little aiming stuff was tricky, but you know, once I got used to it, I kind of liked it. It's kind of like how playing a game with a handicap can make you appreciate it more. I know I'm being silly and finding ways to justify buying this game for my Switch as opposed to the PC, which it obviously is supposed to be played on, but you know, fuck you. Hey, if you haven't played it, play it, man. Great fucking game. Okay, let's move on to the next section. P.O. Box! Transition! What's up, my fam? fams, thanks for the questions, thanks for the letters. Send them on over, yeah, so I can open them. Let's begin. Thing number one comes from our number one dude, Stanford. Once again, penny, scratch ticket, letter, let's go. 100% failure, as always. Ahem. Dear best guy ever, there will be no schedule for when I send letters from here on out. Oh, really? Also, do you do your own taxes? Optional meme. Can you negotiate with terrorists? Unemployed Stanford. There are 6 stamps left. Really, Stanford? You're not sending them once per week? I was really looking forward to this ticking down, slowly and steadily. I mean, you can always change it, but, you know, I like this. Keep it going, dude. Oh, and on the back here, dear worst guy ever, stop stealing out of your mom's purse to play Warcraft World. Also, wash yourself, loser. Oh, I'm gonna deliver this message to him myself. That boy just won't stay dead.
To answer your actual questions, though, I don't do my full taxes myself, but what I do is I meticulously gather all my income and stuff over the course of the year, as well as all my business expenses. I document them extensively and carefully so that when tax season rolls around, I have a relation who does my actual taxes, filling out the forms for me, but it is incredibly easy for them because I have prepared all the information that you need to make this, go smoothly at the time. And the other question, can you negotiate with terrorists? I would say probably not most of the time, but honestly, it's like playing poker. You've got to be willing to lose the hand in order to win the war. So, like, you literally have to be willing to sacrifice the people who get captured for the sake of not conceding the whole game and encouraging terrorists to keep doing this because they know it's a way they can get what they want. It's some tough shit, man, but I don't think you can really negotiate most of the time. That said, if you're gonna be like a coward, like Catelyn Stark was, and like set Jaime Lannister free in a situation where you're like trying to save like one person that the guys have, which is kind of like analogous to like freeing one hostage that terrorists have taken.
When she was trying to save her daughters, that's what I'm talking about.
Like, you can do that, but you're like giving them what they want, which is a pussy move. So no, you can't do it.
Okay, next up, what do we got here? Some sort of kind of squishy package. Let's see. I cannot find a name anywhere on here, unfortunately, but inside we appear to have a heart monitor? Is this like a Fitbit or something? The instructions appear to be exclusively in Chinese, so I'm having a little bit of trouble with this. Okay, I think I'm supposed to sync up to my phone or something? Oh, geez, I'm confused already. Well, I've got it on. I've got it on my wrist. I don't know how to use it or what it is. Let me get back to you, everybody. God, I feel so dumb. Like, is this the second time that I've like totally not understood what a gift was? Thanks anyway. God, is this expensive? I don't know. I feel bad. Please yell at me in the comments if I'm making a huge fucking mistake. It's probably like a fucking like tracking device for a drone is being dispatched to murder me. Thanks for that, friend. And in this box from David, let's see what we've got. Oh my. Oh my. If it isn't Monkey D. Luffy. Bear with me, everyone. I've got to unpack this thing. Holy shit, it is a whole huge fucking box of various One Piece figures. Jesus Christ. There's no way I can hold up all these, so I'm putting a picture up here of like all of them together. Dude. Wow, thank you. And of course, there is a letter here that says, open beforehand, please. How the fuck was I supposed to do that? It was on the bottom. Okay, whatever, it's okay, well, here we go. Dear best guy ever. First, a couple of things regarding the package. I hope Aokiji didn't get fucked up. He was hella hard to fit and was really rigid. He's fine, don't worry, they're all okay. You might not remember, but one of your streams some time ago, I gave you a couple bucks and told you that if I got into Harvard, which I was applying for, I'd give you some One Piece figures and a banner. Well, I got in. Whoa! David got into Harvard! Congratulations! Holy shit! Dude, I thought the last time that you were on the stream you said you didn't get in, but I guess I was wrong. Congratulations, dude! Fuck yeah! He got in, so he's following up on his promise. Also, you might remember my friend Ben Lee. I introduced him to you on one of your streams on the 16th of December. He gave you $100. I do remember that. Thank you very much, Ben. And told you to expect my stuff in the mail. I don't think he had enough characters. So to clarify, originally he was planning to give you $100 if he got into the college of his choice, Cornell, but he got rejected. Oh, okay, I see the confusion here now. On my part, on my part. He decided to donate to you anyways because he's an awesome guy. Enclosed are several things: a Luffy figure, a Zoro and Sanji figures from the Punk Hazard arc, I think. You're absolutely correct, that's their Punk Hazard outfits. Big Aokiji and Shanks figures, and finally a huge Frankie Shogun along with some parts necessary for building some of his vehicles. God damn. When I was a kid, I used to love Transformers. I'm gonna be playing with them tonight. In order to make the stuff fit, I had to rearrange and take apart some of the stuff. No, I got you. Now on to the more personal part of the lever. I want to say thank you for various reasons. First, thank you for being a thing. You're welcome. I first stumbled upon anime analysis with Digibro, and he got me interested in analysis in general. It really helped me both improve in and enjoyed to a fuller extent my ELA classes in school. That's like free writing or something? Yeah, something like that. I eventually came across you, and you helped a lot with that as well. Second, I want to thank you for introducing me to Gurren Lagann. Hey, we got a Gurren virgin over here. You are welcome, my friend. A virgin no longer. A virgin no longer. I first learned about it through you, and I think that without your analysis, it would have meant a lot less to me today than it does. Gurren Lagann is the one show I can say has significantly influenced my life. A relatable feeling. The statement in your analysis to wish not for a lighter burden, but broader shoulders, is a mantra I still live by to this day. It's kind of the most pivotal moment in the entire thing, and I'm glad that you recognize that. Harvard is clearly going to be lucky to have you. During the college admission process, which was a process that was horrible and led to some self-discovery, it will, and one I definitely don't want to go through again, and countless other unbearing, stressful, or dark times in my life, Gurren Lagann has helped me to get back on my feet again. It has taught me that no matter what might happen to me, nothing can change who I am and what I want to be unless I allow it to, so I can keep going until I, scratched out, pierce the heavens, reach my goal and beyond. When I'm down and demotivated, I just imagine Kamino punching me in the face and saying, "Let's see you grit those teeth." Also, Rap is a Man's Soul is probably one of the best workout songs of all time. It's up there, dude. All this is part of me I don't talk about to others as much, but is nonetheless valuable to me. And again, thank you eternally for introducing me to that show. I wouldn't be where I am or who I am this day without it. See, that's kind of the inspiration for this entire channel. Growing up, I was really embarrassed to be into anime, and as I got older and more mature and just started to recognize, what is the point of suppressing who I am? I might as well just completely own what a fucking crybaby, waifu fag, anime-loving nerd freak show that I am, because that is the optimal way to live my life, and everyone's got their own way to live, man. You are definitely on the path to finding yours. God fucking speed. This letter is long enough already, and so I have one last request for you. Could you also give your thoughts / some words of encouragement to those stressed out about applying to college, or those who are having a hard time dealing with rejection from their favorite / dream colleges? It would be greatly appreciated. Thanks, sincerely, David. What a great letter, David. God damn. Congratulations once again, and thank you for that wonderful whole thing. That was all gold. In terms of rejection when applying to colleges and whatnot, the words I would say are, set yourself up, do your best. If you do your best and you fail at whatever it is you've done, you will still have gained something incredibly important. If you're in the midst of the college application process or the job application process or any of that bullshit, and you are sincerely putting in your hardest effort, okay, statistically speaking, literally no one can ever put in their full 100% of work, but let's say like 99, 95%, like trying really hard, okay? If you're doing that, then you will absolutely grow as a person. You will make opportunities for yourself if you self-actualize in this way. Now, I know some people are in terrible situations where they just don't have the opportunities available to them, but it is your job to assess the situation that you're in and find what opportunities you do have. Personal fucking responsibility. It's the only way that we can grow as a society and everyone can be fucking happy and self-actualized, which is synonymous with happiness to me. So if you put your entire hopes and dreams on getting into one college, you are already setting yourself up for failure, This isn't a panacea where I should say do X and Y and you'll no longer feel bad about not getting into the college of your dreams. That's not the way this works. You want to be above the struggle. Not like you shouldn't go to college or anything like that. If going to college is a step along the path to your goal, then Godspeed, absolutely go for it. But it is very important to keep in mind that college is not the end goal. College is a tool that you use, viewer, David, anyone listening to this. It is a tool, just like a job is a tool. Every action we do, the camera I'm using right now to communicate to you, the fucking microphone down here, these are all tools on the path to get where we want to go and achieve the things we want to achieve. If I'm too poor to get the microphone that I want, like I was when I first started making YouTube videos, I didn't give up. I got a cheaper microphone and I worked my my way up until I could afford this one. Same with my camera, same with the editing software, same with all of it. I am honestly sick of people putting college on such a high fucking pedestal. It is a stepping stone to get what we want out of life. I'm not saying that colleges are not valuable. Absolutely not. What I am saying is that people focus way too much on it. I've got my own sordid history with college, so I know that I'm a little bitter on the subject, but nonetheless, tell me that I'm wrong. Tell me that I'm wrong, that what is really important in life is that you, viewer, achieve the goals that you want to with your life, and college is just on the way. Now, I know when you're a teenager, you can think that like, oh no, I didn't get into the college I wanted to, my whole life is ruined. But that's because you are not looking at the big picture enough. So if you do everything right and you still fail and you don't get into the college that you want to, do not fucking sit there and cry about it. Instead, immediately start thinking about the opportunities that you do have to make yourself a good life. You know, you might need to change your strategy. Things might need to be different than you thought, but do not give up. Find ways to get the things you want in life, okay? Do not fucking give up. If I scraped my way out from where I fucking was a few years ago, fucking you can too. Okay. Fantastic letter, David. Thank you so much for sending that, and for all those fun little guys up here. Whew, that was a journey. Let's move on to the questions. Hey everybody, send those questions over, hashtag AskBGE. Let's get to it. Time for the obligatory One Piece question of the week. So, at money_bagson asks, Dear best guy ever, what do you think of Crocodile from One Piece? Personally, I think he was one of the cooler characters and better than Doflamingo. Indeed he was. I should have talked about this more in my Doflamingo / Dressrosa video, but Crocodile is indeed the proto-Doflamingo and the much better Doflamingo. Just to speed through this quickly, because I know a lot of you don't give a shit about One Piece that much, Crocodile was the leader of a criminal organization, just like Doflamingo was. He was a backroom, cloak and dagger kind of guy, trying to manipulate his way to rise to the top, just like Doflamingo was. Crocodile was attempting to use a secret weapon to rise his way to the top, just like Doflamingo was. Crocodile's devil fruit gave him a vast amount of power over the environment where the arc took place, just like Doflamingo! Crocodile was a Shichibukai and a very powerful opponent for Luffy, just like Doflamingo was. The problem is that in every single one of those categories, Crocodile is a superior villain. Now, I would totally give you that Doflamingo had a more tragic and interesting backstory than Crocodile, but we just don't really know Crocodile's yet, so maybe his is better. Also, not to mention that Doflamingo's got completely fucked up by the whole Rocinante saying that Doflamingo had always been evil, undoing that backstory, as I discussed in that video, etc., etc. But let me just give you the one most insulting thing that's the difference between Crocodile and Doflamingo. Here it is. So you know how in that video I talked about how Doflamingo did the birdcage, the most ridiculous attack in all of One Piece where a Paramecia Devil Fruit user could do all these incredible numbers of things at the same time using his Devil Fruit, making string clones, fighting against Luffy directly, puppeting a huge amount of the residents of an entire fucking kingdom, all while making a country-spanning birdcage that was uncuttable even by fucking Zoro. By fucking Zoro. How Mary Sue do you have to be? God damn it! Basically, his Devil Fruit gave him an incredible power over, like, the entire country, okay? As much as I don't like it, that was a very intimidating power at the end. True. Now, on the other hand, Crocodile's whole deal was that he had specifically picked out Alabasta as a place where he wanted to conquer. Whereas with Doflamingo, Dressrosa just happened to be the island where his family had used to be king before the world government got established. So immediately, Crocodile's plan has a little more thought put into it. Because of course, Crocodile has eaten the Suna Suna no Mi, or the Sand Fruit, and is a Sand Logia Devil Fruit user. Oh my god, I keep remembering stupid things about that. Like, remember how fucking Doflamingo just, like, used a clone to avoid getting his head chopped off? Whereas, like, with Crocodile, that would make sense because he's like a Logia user. Oh my god, what the fuck? Well, Crocodile's sand power is uniquely powerful in Alabasta, a desert kingdom. One of the most important moments in all of Alabasta is when Luffy and the gang get to the town of Yuba, a place that is continually being assaulted by sandstorms. Now, sandstorms are a natural occurrence in One Piece, but in this case, Crocodile himself is creating those. Later on in the arc, we actually see Crocodile tell Luffy, yeah, I create little whirlwinds at them that turn into gigantic sandstorms. They're even out of my control. Even he cannot stop them once they're created. And then those sandstorms just follow the course of nature in this country. They use its own ecosystem to further Crocodile's plan as they attack the town of Yuba over and over and over again. And this ties into Crocodile's whole plan to make the kingdom unhappy with the king's rule, with the boogie powder, and how they destabilize the rain situation and they blame it all on the king. It's like it's all relevant to the plan and all makes perfect sense. It is just so perfectly tied, Crocodile's power, into the way his whole plan operates. It's like the writers actually gave a shit about what was happening in Alabasta. And fuck it. Okay, one more question and we'll be done here. At Mike McCross asks, okay, best dad, I got some chubs during my 2 years at college and I gotta ask, what is your workout routine and diet? Some of us fucking weebs need to buff the fuck up to be Chad level. Bonus points if you dictate a whole video to this. Thanks, Papa Best. Hey, that's cute. Oh boy, okay, diet is a world unto itself. I would say everybody who wants to exercise and lose weight, go watch a channel called Scooby1961. He is the fitness YouTuber who I have followed for many, many years and taught me a lot of what I know. He'll give you tips on fitness. He's got a website, sweatforhealth.com, that I've actually literally never used outside of the free tools that he's got on there. You might find those useful. I know that I have. Okay, but here's the gist. Count your calories, get the right macronutrient ratios, look that up if you don't know what that is, eat lots of vegetables, eat lots of fruit, for God's sakes cut down on sugar and carbs, and make sure you get enough protein if you're bulking. That's the quick and dirty version. The long way is count your fucking calories, do your research, learn what you gotta eat, and there's just too much to talk about here. Eat your fucking vegetables. That is like the number one thing you should do. Throw away that bag of chips in your hand, just pick up literally a bag of spinach and eat that instead. That's literally what I do. And even I could afford to lose 10 pounds, definitely. Now as for a workout routine, now that's a lot more fun. I was doing a 5-day split for a couple years there where I was doing chest, arms, legs, back, and shoulders, all on different days, split throughout the week. And I would do a bunch of exercises dedicated to each. That's like a more advanced thing, and it was honestly too advanced for me at the point I was at in my progression. I've got a long way to go. Right now, I'm just doing a full body workout 3 days a week, and I love it. Just Google starting strength 5x5. Do your squats, do your flat bench, do your incline bench on your off days. Hit shoulders, hit bis and tris. Hit legs, and again, do your squats. And for God's sakes, do not skip cardio. Cardio is important for everyone just for maintaining health. You don't want to be the super swole guy who can't run up a flight of stairs, So let's just do our cardio. 20 minutes of running right after your workout is a great starting point. Work up from there. Okay, that's it. We're done here. All right, thanks everybody for listening. Thanks for the questions. Thanks for the packages, everybody. Stanford, I expect to be hearing from you next week, my friend, and everybody else. Send those packages over using their address. Send the questions with hashtag AskBGE. Hey, friend, why not support this show that I do by heading on over to patreon.com/bestguyever. Oh, won't you start off the year right by pledging to an internet creator that you love and worship like me? I'm really, really hoping, guys, to make this the year that I am able to financially go independent and become a full-time content creator. So if you contribute a little bit to that, you will be part of that fucking dream, and that translates directly to you getting more content from this channel. So if that's what you want, you know what to do. If you want more of me in general, head on over to The Procrastinators YouTube channel, the podcast channel I run with my friends, podcasts every single week. Bunch of content on there. Have you seen the new animations coming out on there? Mwah, fucking choice. Pledge $5 to the Patreon on that channel to get access to the bonus episodes too. There's now 10 of them. Jesus. Speaking of One Piece, you should go check out the Podcast, the review show I do of the new weekly One Piece chapters every single week with my buddy Hypocrite. If you want to support that show specifically, there's a Patreon for that too. You know what to do. And unless I'm making a terrible mistake, I believe that's everything. Thank you for watching, everybody, on this wonderful episode of WIAGW.
I don't know much about computers other than the one we got in my house. My mom put a couple games on there and I played.
I'm the best guy ever. Got keen. Bingo. Heroes never die!